After leaving the princess palace, I also started to think, how can I quickly increase my strength in half a year? Think about it. I still decide, go in hand in yesterday's task first. Not long. I have come to the illusory sword pavilion to deliver the task, and I got a bag full of swords. After that, I walked towards the second floor again. It's just that the elders also seemed very enthusiastic when they saw me. He quickly waved his hand and beckoned me to sit down. Then he took out the chessboard. It's been a long time since you played chess. I smiled at my wife in front of me. It seems that Mr. Shen is very unconvinced by the last showdown, saying that he was the first to give birth to an adopted son. I'm sure I won't lose again this time. I smiled and stared into his eyes. If the disciple is lucky enough to win, you have to give me some inside information. It went on like this for half an hour. The cold sweat on old man Shen is also increasing. I smiled and reminded him that it was dead. Old Shen scratched his head and sighed. You look harmless. But the chessboard is killing every step of the way. Death is like a knife. Really a decisive decision. It sucks, I laughed and said. Just lucky. I almost lost a couple of times. Mr. Shen interrupted me directly. Don't say that. Are you here to find a new mission this time? I nodded awkwardly. Hundreds of tasks, don't know how to choose. The old pedal man began to think seriously. Soon he had the answer. Red stone moved towards a corner. Then he placed a mission token in front of me. I also checked the task information above for the result token. Xingge City Mingyuan Waifu. Upgrade to Jindan Realm as soon as possible. I found Old Man Shen. Received a task with less life and more money. Soon I arrived at the mansion outside the Nether Garden. After seeing me, famous members trotted all the way to my face. The former expressed joy. Then he invited me to the gift house. And with a look of relief, he said that he was finally saved. I smiled to reassure him. At the same time, let him talk about the current situation first. Ming Yuanwai sighed after listening. 3 days ago, there began to be strange cat meowing outside the mansion. Who knows the next day? That cat meow was in my front yard. A guest in the mansion saw the monster with his own eyes. Blood all over. Yesterday, that cat meow has reached my backyard. Maybe tonight. That cat demon is about to break into my house and start killing. Hear the cause and effect of the story. I also said that I will definitely help him deal with it. But considering what he said, this kind of guy who will test step by step doesn't seem like a demon. It's more like the so-called, because if monsters are cultivated regularly, spiritual intelligence is no different from ordinary people. It is impossible to make such an elusive description. It's those ghosts with low cultivation. Because he died once, lead to the lack of Danoderma lucidum. It's driven by resentment. Act strangely. The dead cat demon. Perhaps a dead cat spirit. So I started asking questions. Did the Mingyuan waifu kill a cat a few days ago? The member shook his head. My wife is very loving. Always be kind to animals. Even stray cats and dogs will be carefully fed. Hear this. I also feel very tricky. He proposed the idea of surveying the situation in the mansion. After obtaining the consent of an outsider, I began to search every corner of the house carefully. In the stillness of time in the evening, I just found the member again. But just then, the sound of running came. It was you who interrupted our conversation so anxiously. His lordship said he was unwell. Can't come to serve the banquet, see Choxia, property management. Hear about the lady. The staff also got up in a hurry. Said to go see him. The lady saw his anxious expression. I can't help but sigh that they have such a good relationship. The leftover women on the side are also very proud. The master and the wife have been married for 10 years. Always the same as on the day of the new wedding. It's a pity that my wife was sick and unable to have children a few years ago. He also advised the master to have children inside, but the master is still unwilling to accept it, saying they both burst into tears in front of me. After a while, the members came back sweating profusely. Explain the haunting fog these days. That's why I'm not in good health. I have to rely on the young man tonight. And I said yes. Of course, I just finished speaking. There was a gust of wind outside. The member immediately exclaimed that it was a cat demon. Here he goes again. Without the slightest hesitation, I just dodged and rushed out the door, around the spiritual energy in the body at the same time. However, I found the surrounding breath is full of yin, mixed with a strong demon wind. So I turned around and yelled for them to leave. But when I opened my mouth, found that they had already run away, that's when I realized my worries are obviously superfluous. But soon a cat meow came into my ears. On the roof in front of me. I don't know when a black cat appeared. That miserable voice. It is from its mouth. The moment I saw it, I just feel a little tingling on my scalp, because he was just as I guessed. It's a ghost of resentment. And it's a ghost turned into a monster. The spirit of resentment withers. Each is counted separately. They are all special existences in haunted houses, and this one is just full of all the buffs. The difficulty is a boss. A savage cat cannot be killed with a single blow. Then he will keep coming back to life until it kills you. But I'm not afraid at all, because the stronger he is, the better the treasure I end up with. After declaring their sovereignty, the cat can't help but be confused. Under normal circumstances, didn't I rush up long ago? So in order to save face, the cat pounced on me without saying a word. But I'm not guilty at all. Running gold parts. As my fingers move, the golden sword shot at him with a whoosh. The cat suddenly screamed, just dodged with a backflip. The next moment he appeared in front of me again. Sharp claws passed me by. I caught him attacking my space. Control the golden sword. Attempt to sneak attack successfully. However, this time the cat was not as good as last time. Instead, I cut off half of my body. But the cat didn't have the slightest itch that was seriously injured by me. It's more alive than ever. And I had a terrible feeling. That is the sword of enlightenment that can destroy all evil. See him. I suddenly realized, this guy seems to be able to take his own damage. Transform into power. The worse the injury, the stronger. That is to say, if I can't kill him with one blow, his strength will become stronger and stronger. But what bothers me the most is his speed. The next moment, he was as fast as a ghost. Proved my guess. Face his attack. I no longer look like an oil blade. Instead, it fell into the fall in the confrontation again and again. At the critical moment, I directly summoned the magic weapon I just got, the demon rope. For a moment, the rope seemed to come alive. Turned a furious cat into a competitive kitten. I saw him successfully subdued by me. I breathed a sigh of relief, almost flipped over. Saying, I mentioned this guy who just showed off his power. Why don't you scratch me again? Subsequently, I was calculating in my head the process of the battle just now. To keep this guy from finding out my intentions, I just risked being disfigured by this guy. Close range release is accurate. Guaranteed one-hit uniform. Anyway, this time the actual combat experience. It is also invaluable to me. Then I summoned my great sword. As a golden slash fell, the cat demon's body is divided into two halves, looking at the golden soul condensed in the air. Compared to the last spider spirit, the soul of this cat seems to be a little more powerful than that guy. Just then, footsteps rang out behind me. It turned out to be a connection that just escaped, and he was celebrating my victory. See here. I also feel very helpless. You're going faster than that cat. The next morning, the maid of the mansion came to my room early, invited me to a celebration party prepared for me, saying that he actually rushed in directly. I originally wanted to wait for the young master to wake up. I quickly took 2 steps back. No, I'll do the little things myself. Wait until he leaves. I just put away my smile, because I have one more thing to make sure of. After that, I came to a door in the backyard. After getting ready, I knocked softly on the wooden door in front of me. A beautiful female voice came from inside. Who is it? I tell him. My name is Chu Liang. I heard that my wife is unwell. Just to check it out. But the lady inside told me to leave. He had no intention of meeting me, and that made me even more confused. There must be something wrong with this lady, so I knocked on the door again. I have the password for Shushan in my hand. Maybe it can help, ma'am. I will wait in the underworld until the lady sees me. Hear me. It was quiet inside for a moment. Then came the sound of getting dressed. Then I saw a woman in red come out. The young man has been waiting for a long time, and she invited me into the room. I'll leave it to the young man. Explore the secrets of my sister-in-law. I busted into him. The room tied him up. But just as I was about to interrogate him properly, Big Brother suddenly walked in. It turned out that in order to investigate the truth of the cat demon incident, I coaxed my sister-in-law into my sister-in-law's room. Sister-in-law ignites the fragrance while pouring me wine. Explain that you're just a little scared. The young man got rid of the monster yesterday, and I'm just about done with my health. I just nodded calmly. But about the cat demon last night, I have something else to say to my wife. Sister-in-law has an accident. Let me go on. I told him first it was just a guess. Then continued until last night. That cat demon is very strange. The body gathers resentful spirits, demons, and heroic spirits. But he came to your underworld. What is it for? The sister-in-law said without changing her face. Does writing hurt people still need a reason? I smiled and said, of course, because what Wrath Spirit Immortal is looking for must be to kill himself. But if it is a ghost, the first person you look for is your mother. This cat spirit is gradually moving forward in your underworld for 3 consecutive days without harming anyone. It's like looking for something. Here. Sister-in-law's face has become gloomy. I continue to say that outside the Ming family, your family is the home of Jisha, never killed animals. So is he looking for his mother? But he is a demon. So could his mother be a demon too? Since the cat spirit appeared, it seems that only the madam dare not appear in the mansion. Here. Sister-in-law suddenly laughed. Sisho Shaoxia means that I am a demon. I still look peaceful. Just try it. Who knew that the sister-in-law suddenly got up? Eyes scanned me up and down, as if trying to see me through. I glanced awkwardly. sister-in-law, or sit down and talk, because I want to determine whether a person is a demon. Either he takes the initiative to appear or rely on the prestige of the demon mirror. At this time, my sister-in-law is not sure. Do I really have that kind of magic weapon? So he asked me if I had a magic mirror. And I kind of shook my head. At the same time, I grabbed the brick hidden behind me, and he was ready to take action against me. Suddenly, we point behind each other in unison. Look what that is. The scene fell into a brief silence. And our other hand also lights up at this moment. Sister-in-law suddenly sneered. I don't pretend anymore. In fact, when you came in, I have lit the candle hidden in the candle. If you want an antidote, just leave the underworld obediently. Don't be too busy. But I just smiled. Since I came, be prepared. Before disturbing the lady, I've given up. I'm afraid, madam, your little move doesn't seem to have any effect on me.